November 2024 issue.
Sounds good.
Now, I know you're thinking about maybe possibly advertising in this magazine.
Right.
So we're going to explore if that's, a good move or not.
Okay.
DiversityComm is really all about, well, they're all about amplifying diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they've got this, incredible reach across so many different sectors.
Yeah, this issue is packed, really, full of inspiring stories and practical advice for, just about everyone. We've got the big cover story featuring Jason Momoa, of course, but then also we look at how different communities are making waves, and we've got some really solid advice on business and careers.
Yeah, Jason Momoa on the cover. I mean, that's what grabbed my attention straight away.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's really fascinating to see him using his platform to champion these causes that he really truly believes in, especially ocean conservation. I mean, it's not just about acting for him,
Right.
It goes deeper. It's about his Polynesian roots and how all of that has shaped his commitment to protecting the planet. It's a big deal for him.
Yeah, Momoa's approach to environmentalism it's interesting, right? It's he's not just talking about it, you know what I mean? He's not just advocating. He's actually out there building businesses to try and solve the problem.
Yeah.
A prime example, his company Mananalu.
Right.
They're producing recyclable aluminum bottled water.
Wow.
To fight back against all that single-use plastic.
And they've partnered with Hawaiian Airlines, right?
They have, yeah. To distribute Mananalu on all the flights. That's going to get this. 284,000 plastic bottles
Every year,
just from that one partnership.
That is incredible.
He's also co-founded Meili. It's a vodka brand, and they use recycled glass for the bottles.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's really thinking about this across the board, even in industries that you don't always associate with being eco-conscious.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a smart move too.
Yeah,
he's aligning his businesses with his values.
Right.
So he's attracting a loyal customer base who, share his passion for sustainability. It's a powerful example of how being a purpose-driven entrepreneur can make a real impact.
For sure. I think it really speaks to DiversityComm's audience too.
Totally.
This is a readership of professionals who care about these things. Sustainability, diverse representation, creating positive change, all of that. They see Momoa as a role model. I mean, the guy's using his influence to really make a difference.
And that's, just one thing. We're just scratching the surface here. DiversityComm goes way beyond just featuring celebrities.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're committed to showcasing all these different communities, and they go way beyond the typical categories. You know what I mean? They've got these what's trending sections, and they cover everything. Native origins, Black, Hispanic, women, LGBTQ+, AAPI, veteran, diversibility, even STEM communities. Oh. It's really, it's impressive. They really go in depth with each community, highlighting these individual stories and achievements. For example, they've got this section on Native origins.
Okay.
And they're celebrating Native American Heritage Month. They look back at some really important historical figures like Standing Bear.
Standing Bear, yeah.
His court case was absolutely pivotal for Native American civil rights, set a precedent for tribal sovereignty.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. They also feature Dr. Susan LaFlèche-Picotte.
Okay.
She was the first Native American woman to earn a medical degree in the U.S. Incredible.
Wow.
She dedicated her whole life to serving the health needs of the tribal communities. It just goes to show the impact one person can have on, generations to come.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
And they bring it into the present day, too, with people like Colonel Nicole Mann. She's the first Native American woman in space.
That's amazing.
And then there's this company, Ginew. They're Native American owned, and they make clothes and accessories.
Oh.
Really beautifully incorporates their heritage into the designs. I mean, it's inspiring to see how they're weaving tradition and innovation together.
It's powerful, for sure. It's a reminder that... of the richness and resilience of Indigenous communities.
Absolutely.
And this focus on individual stories, it continues in the other communities too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in the Black Community Spotlight, they feature Will.i.am.
Oh yeah, Will.i.am.
I mean, the guy has gone way beyond music at this point. He's super involved in the tech world now, exploring artificial intelligence, and even he's shaking up the radio industry.
Yeah, his company, ArgoADO.fyi, it's really cool. They're using AI personas as personal curators for radio listeners.
Well,
It's a fascinating example of how technology can be used to, like, personalize experiences and really cater to individual tastes.
yeah, that's really interesting. So then in the Hispanic community section, who do we meet?
We meet Dr. PJ Sensuela.
Okay.
He's not just a doctor, he's a rapper, too.
What? No way.
Yeah. And he's using his platform to address health crises in Puerto Rico.
That's incredible.
He even set up mobile clinics to reach those underserved communities. I mean, talk about creative and dedicated. This guy's making a real difference.
Really inspiring stuff.
The magazine also puts a spotlight on women in leadership. They highlight Tan Sushan.
Okay.
She made history by becoming the first female CEO of DBS Bank.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a powerful symbol of progress and a reminder that we need more diverse voices in these positions of power.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these stories, they really highlight the talent and innovation that exists within these communities. And it makes me think, like, it brings us back to your, interest in advertising and DiversityComm.
Yes.
Clearly, this magazine has a wide reach. They're tapping into all these diverse and engaged audiences across multiple demographics.
Exactly. And the content itself shows how influential they are. Like, they have this list of the top inclusive companies in aerospace and defense.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So they've got a strong presence in specific industries. And then they have articles like Global Trends in Supplier Diversity and the Hiring Guide for Small Business Owners.
Oh.
Really valuable stuff for business leaders, across all these different sectors.
For sure. And then there's the top 10 most affordable online bachelor's degrees section.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
Super valuable for students or anyone looking to, advance their careers. I mean, it shows that DiversityComm speaks to a wide range of aspirations. Yeah.
It's not just about highlighting diversity, though. It's about empowering it, right?
Right.
They dive into practical advice and resources, things that can actually help people and businesses thrive. For example, there's this article, 7 Common Mistakes to Avoid While Searching for a Job.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Packed with useful tips.
Yeah.
Especially, for people from underrepresented communities. It's tough out there, navigating the job market.
I know. They had that section on tailoring resumes and cover letters.
Yeah.
Close to each specific job.
So important.
It's so easy to just use a generic template.
Yeah, totally.
But employers, I mean, they really respond to candidates who show that they understand the role.
And how their skills align with it. Yeah.
Exactly.
They also talk about, like, applicant tracking systems.
Oh, yeah, those things.
They're everywhere these days. And they can be a real pain if your resume isn't, optimized for them.
Totally.
Job seekers really need to, get familiar with how they work.
Yeah, and they emphasize networking, too.
Oh, yeah, networking's huge. It's not always just about what you know. It's about who you know.
Exactly. Letting your network know that you're looking for a job. I mean, that can open doors.
For sure. And for those on the other side, doing the hiring,
Yeah.
there's a great article, 8 Strategies for Hiring Great Employees.
Oh, I saw that one.
Full of practical advice for business owners, hiring managers.
Yeah, that's good.
They want to build diverse and talented teams.
It was interesting. They had a section on social media recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
And they said it's not just about posting job descriptions.
Right.
It's about showcasing your company culture. You got to engage with potential candidates. Make it authentic, make it inviting.
It's about building a community, making people actually excited about joining your team.
Exactly.
And they suggest going beyond the typical, job fairs.
Yeah.
Attend industry-specific events.
Oh, okay.
You can connect with people in a more relaxed setting.
That's a good point.
And they also remind us that the interview process goes both ways.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about assessing the candidate. You want to make them feel welcome.
Yeah.
Give them a positive impression of your company, even if they don't end up getting the job.
It's about building relationships, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fostering mutual respect.
Right.
Speaking of building relationships, there's this fascinating article on global trends in supplier diversity. It highlights how companies are realizing the importance of partnering with a wider range of suppliers, from historically underrepresented communities.
It's not just who you hire.
Right.
It's who you do business with.
Exactly. And this isn't, it's not just about doing the right thing, although obviously that's important, but there are also real business benefits to supplier diversity.
Yeah, there are.
Studies show that companies with diverse suppliers, they see a greater return on their investments.
Interesting.
And they spend less on their buying operations.
It's a win-win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're promoting inclusivity and you're improving your bottom line.
And it can lead to more resilient supply chains too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Which is, vital in today's world.
Absolutely. There was another article that caught my eye. It was inclusive products just make business sense.
Oh, yeah, by Foxy or Reza.
Yeah, that's the one. It talks about how companies can design products that are more accessible and inclusive, especially for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm. It's a topic that often gets overlooked,
For sure.
But she makes a really compelling argument.
Yeah.
She says inclusivity should be part of the design process right from the start.
Makes sense.
It's not just a social responsibility, it's a smart business move.
Yeah. And she gave some really good examples like Barilla, the pasta company.
Oh, yeah, Barilla.
They're using apps like Be My Eyes to make their product info accessible to people with visual impairments.
That's great.
I mean, it's amazing how technology can bridge these gaps, make things more inclusive.
Absolutely. And she also points out that a lot of websites are still inaccessible to people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Especially those who rely on screen readers.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a call to action. For web designers, they need to think about accessibility from the get-go.
Definitely. Everyone should be able to access content online.
Exactly. She highlights companies like Degree Deodorant, too. They've got this adaptive deodorant designed for people with upper limb disabilities.
Oh, cool.
It's a simple change, but it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It shows that inclusive design can benefit everyone, not just, people with specific needs.
Right.
It's a great reminder that inclusivity isn't about creating separate products. It's about designing for everyone from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And often, these changes they not only benefit people with disabilities, but they actually improve the product for everyone.
Exactly.
I think the magazine does a great job of connecting the dots, showing how diversity